Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm doing my January wrap up. January has been an absolutely phenomenal month for me. I've managed to read a ridiculous amount of books. I think, how many have I got? 24 books. And I think in part that is because of being away for the first couple of days of January, and also being off school for sort of nearly a week at the beginning of January. And then also I've just been picking up these books that I can sort of devour in a night. If you've seen my books I read in one sitting video, you'll know I had a whole weekend where I just really wanted to sit and be able to read a whole book in a night and really immerse myself in it. And you know, whether that means that I'm coming up with my favourite books, which I haven't this month, I don't think it really matters to me as long as it's a good enough book. So for me, those 3 and 4 star reads are still books that I'm really enjoying, but just not sort of those elusive 5 stars, which I have to say, like most booktubers that I've heard recently talk about their years, those 5 stars, I'm becoming more and more harsh on what I give 5 stars, and I'm enjoying narrowing down to less books every year that are really sort of the cream of the crop for me. So this month, unfortunately, there weren't any 5 star reads, but there were lots of 3 and 4 stars. In total, I read 17 4 star books, 5 3 star books and 2 2 star books. So there were a couple in there that just didn't hit the mark for me for whatever reason. I did have a couple of DNFs, but I won't be listing them here. I will talk about them in another video. Splitting down those categories, I had 13 YA books, 4 contemporary fiction, 1 non-fiction, 2 graphic novels, 2 science fiction and fantasy, 1 magical realism and 1 crime book. Of my 14 books that were on my TBR for January, I managed to read 5 of those. I DNF'd another 2, which makes half of the list sort of accounted for. There's also 1 on there that I have moved forward to February because I'm actually going to be buddy reading it with someone. So all in all, not too terrible. I read half of my TBR that I'd set myself, but I did find that I just wanted to go and browse my shelf and shop my shelf, and I'm not going to stop myself from doing that unless of course I'm doing sort of a buddy read or something that requires me to read a book. So book clubs, books and buddy reads, I will obviously make the effort and get those read. But otherwise, I've put things on a TBR because at that moment I feel like they're books that I want to read, or for whatever reason I've picked them up. But unless it's a readathon, I'm not going to sort of really try and push myself to read those, because I think that can actually change how you feel about the book when you read it if it's not the right time. There's definitely a time and a place for a book, and I truly believe in that. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with half my TBR being completed and the rest sort of going back and filtering back onto my shelves. So let's talk about the actual books. I gave 2 stars to Sal and Irresistible. 3 stars went to One Small Thing, Summerland, Emergency Contact, Empress of All Seasons and Life with the Walter Boys. And 4 stars I gave to Summer of Salt, Alex Approximately, My Heart Goes Bang, I Followed the Rules, Here's Looking at You, The Longest Holiday, Bibliophile, Giant Days Volume 8, My Brother's Husband Volume 1, Cinder and Ella, Happy Ever After, Spinning Silver, Exit West, It Only Happens in the Movies, My Fair Lady, First and then The Child Finder. So I just had a really varied month, lots of different genres, ending up being lots of different ratings and reading different books for various different reasons, but it's just been really invigorating to really just go to my shelves and pick up what I fancy. And I've really been enjoying that time of just standing by my shelves and contemplating what I'm going to pick up next. And sometimes I pick one up, I take it downstairs, I start reading, and then I think, oh no, I'm not feeling this, so I put it back on the shelf. And I have done a little bit of procrastinating. If you haven't seen it already, I'll link it up above. I have done a try a chapter tag this month, because when I start to really procrastinate and I just can't pick up a book, I just feel really antsy. That was a really great way actually of just focusing me in on one book that I really want to read, and I ended up really enjoying that one, so I'm pleased I did that. Anyway, that is my month in wrap up. if you've been listening about my jar, I had a jar last year that I was putting money in to do with my Bookopoly. This year I'm not doing Bookopoly, but I've set myself the challenge. I have £50 a month that can go to books. Any money I don't spend on out of that £50 goes into my jar and will be saved up with last year's money for another sort of pile of money for next year, and maybe I will use it to do something exciting and bookish, who knows. But I had £50 to spend. I ended up spending quite a bit of that, but I had £16 left over, so I have put £16 in the pot this month, and I will continue to do that for next month. Anyway, that's it from me, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.